I thought that you guys would be curious and you guys would be excited to hear about how my 9-year-old budget, saves, and invests. If you guys are new, my name is Dr. Miral Azam Khalil. I teach Muslim families how to invest and I consult with them. I have been investing since I was 15 years old and I'm 36 now, which means I have been in this field for 21 years. I would say even more than that because my parents were investors. I saw my grandmothers investing, and so there was an ecosystem of investing in the family. Let's begin. Of course, the disclaimer, all information is for educational purposes only. No client relationship is assumed, and there is no tax advice given. Um, Intention and istiyada. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shahri sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. I have always rooted my intentions in Surah Al-Asr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us that every human being, all humanity is in loss except for people who give good advice and they advise other people to patience. The reason I have always insisted that we should know what is our intention is because we are going to get more out of it and it helps us um, always stay true to our cause. So my prayer before I begin is that whatever is beneficial for you guys, you get out of it, and whatever is not beneficial for you, I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives me for my shortcomings and it does not affect you negatively at all. All right. Okay, so this is a picture that I took. This is me holding a candle. I like to light up my mini the candles in my mini, I would say, chandelier that's on my table, and it reminded me to begin with this quote: fiction creates force. I want all of you guys to understand that this is the candle that represents all of you. Whoever is attending, Kalsoom, NEJ, Nasreen, Cyrus, Sobia, Zara, Farida, Iram, and anybody who I've missed. This candle is you, and with this information that I am going to share with you guys today, inshallah, you are going to be the one lighting all these other candles. So financial literacy is a very powerful tool. In today's class, I like to be systematic as much as possible. So this is what we are going to learn. We are going to learn where to find spare change to invest, because most of the time people complain that they do not have enough money to invest. Creating an ecosystem of investing in the house, how consistency compounds, and spending guilt-free. This is extremely important to me, and I'm not going to go into the details, but it is something that we should look for, especially women, because we are mostly shaming other women and ourselves for spending on anything that is beyond necessary. And with investing, this particular aspect changes a lot. So Saif is my oldest son. He is 9 years old, alhamdulillah, and he has been investing since he was 7 years old. So when you think of investing, please understand that the example of me bringing my own child is for you to clarify a point. The first point that we need to clarify, even before we jump into the material, is that if a 7-year-old can begin investing, so can you. We are absolutely capable. And he did not begin investing by, obviously, this is one of the things that is obvious, is he did not know all the language. He did not know the lingo, the finance lingo. He did not understand most of the things that I did. I just took him for a ride. I just took him for the journey. And this is what you need to understand, that you need to trust the journey. The first thing that I want to dispel is that obviously a 7-year-old does not have a lot of money to invest. In fact, he had no money to invest, and I was doing this on behalf of him. So this dispels the myth that you need a lot of money, or you need a lot of experience, or you need a degree in finance to begin investing. You can begin investing with a single dollar. And this is not to say that you cannot invest with more money, but I just want to dispel these myths before we begin. So don't discount yourself saying, I don't have a degree, I'm not qualified, to invest, or I don't have enough money. I want you to always remember Saif's example. So this is how my son earns money now that he's 9. He began learning chess when he was 7 years old, and now he teaches chess. He charges $10 per lesson. He sells his used clothes, mini Borden shirts. It's a brand, it's a UK based brand, it's expensive. And because he's my only son and we cannot recycle his clothes or reuse his clothes, all other 3 kids are girls. He sells his used shirts on Poshmark, mini Borden. Um, Even with all that, that's perfect, Iram. It's perfectly fine. We're gonna go into how. So let's just, I'm just trying to give you ideas of what he does to earn an income. I have tasked him with teaching his younger sister the 3 subjects that I do not want to teach, and he is multilingual. We have been lucky to have him being tutored for a couple of years now, and so he teaches her French, Arabic, and Spanish, and I pay him only $1 for a word or something if he teaches his younger sister any of these languages. He helps me research stocks. I cannot underline this fact so much that 2 years of literally just watching me do something has allowed him to actually participate in finding stocks for me. Now, please understand, he does not have a degree in finance, but he knows what I am looking for. He knows the basic things that he needs to look for, and he can suggest a stock to me. And if that stock or if that investment makes money, I pay him 10% of what I've made. So these are the things that have developed over time. He is going to turn 10 in December, inshallah. And so it has taken him 3 years to get to this level. But I'm just telling you what is possible with a very small child who has a very little resources. And, you know, after all, he's a kid. Then he models for our toy store. I run a toy store which sells handmade wooden toys that I curate from all around the globe. I started this business 2 years ago for, to give my kids an opportunity to literally learn messy and on the job. When I began, I had obviously no idea of how the toy industry works, but I was fascinated because I had been using these toys with my own kids, and I knew that developmentally they were much better than the plastic toys, not just for the environment, but they were better for kids. And being a physician, this really excites me because I also study child and adolescent psychiatry. So I thought we should start a business as a family, me and my older kids. My son was 7 turning 8, and my daughter was only 5. And I told them that they could help me just by modeling the for the toys. They could help me by reviewing the toys. So I bought the toys and I expanded the business by asking them to, by honestly observing them, if they liked the toy, how it was helping them, and how the different ways they use the toy to play with it. And I paid them. Now, I'm not telling you all of this. This is a really calculated lesson, and I'm not telling you this just for the heck of it. I'm telling you because there is an account, the minor IRA. I'm not here to talk about the different minor accounts today, investment accounts, but there is a minor account in which you can pay your kids for participating in a legitimate business activity. It cannot be chores, and I'm going to go into detail more about this later. So I mean, I'm just giving you ideas of the things he did in his capacity as a small child to scrap, you know some kind of money. And these are just ways that he's doing it. You can literally take these ideas and apply them to your own kid's life, your own life. I'm just giving you inspiration to just begin. Look at the amount, $10, $3. It's not much, but over time, it's going to be Not only the experiences that count, but also because he began early, he will never have to invest a lot of money. So in investing, time is what compounds your investment, and it's not about how much money you have. It is always, always, always about how much um, how much time did you give your investments to grow. um, so this is current, okay? This is not how it started, but this is what he does. $3 a day. If he teaches, 15, 16 days, or if he teaches some months he's teaching every single day, he gets, I pay him $3 a day, 30 days on average, somewhere between $50 to $90 a month. We pay him for teaching his sisters foreign languages. um, Most of the time he is able to make $200 at least from the stocks he helps me research. Remember, it's really hard to run all these things that I do, so I have hired him, and we have a business deal. If he helps me pick a stock that makes money, he gets to split the I give him 10%, so he's able to rake at least $200 helping me pick the stock. Now it's doing two things. It's actually incentivizing him to pick a stock, and it's also sharpening his investing skills. It's allowing him to read financial statements. It's allowing him to expand his education without a degree. So when this child enters into the workforce, or when this child enters into the college system, do you see what I mean? He's going to be way ahead of other people. And this is simply by just tagging along with me. No special education, no master degrees, no nothing. This is just by him watching me and we learning together. So this is the ecosystem I was talking about. I have created an ecosystem because this is literally how my parents treated me. I was able to sit in with all the investment decisions they were making. They were not teaching me, but they were, I am intentional about teaching my son. They were not intentionally teaching me, but because I heard so much and I learned so much just from hearing, I wish if they had been more intentional with me, I would have been much better. Um, Assalamu alaikum, Sophie. Guys, if you are new, could you please answer the poll? It helps me. It's in the chat. Okay, let's continue. So we pay him close to $100 for modeling and reviewing toys for our store Khilone. Um, because the store has been doing really well, it's now established itself, alhamdulillah. We are able to pay him money to review toys for us. We are able to pay him money to actually pose for us, because ultimately you can hire models, but you can also hire your own kids, and it's a legitimate registered business. He teaches at fairs, so he can there's a business fair next week in Baltimore, and he is participating. He's teaching chess, inshallah, and he's able to make $10. He's always able to make $40-50 from teaching chess. So this is just a small kid. Assalamu alaikum, Asma. Walaikum assalam. So I'm just giving you ideas of how he is making money. um, I hope this sparks something inside of you, that this is a really um, this is a kid who cannot drive. um, this is somebody who has very limited resources, and we are adults. We can do much more, and all I ask from you guys is to promise yourself that you can consistently invest $10. If you guys are interested, I'm going to link the class that I had last week, which was extremely popular. People loved it, and it was how I did a case study of how I showed, slide by slide, a comparison of a grandmother who began investing for her newborn with $10. At the end of the class, I'm going to link the class, and you guys can go and watch it, and you can see the magic of how $10 can literally blow up, just $10. And once you see it, you're going to be mind blown, and all of this is going to come together, inshallah. Okay. And so again, remember I told you friction creates force. Now when I showed all of these things to you and all of this to you, people automatically assume that my son is extremely confident. He's one of those few rare kids, rare breed kids who are confident. On the other hand, my child is introverted. Has a very shy personality. I wanted to interview him for you guys. Probably I'll do it on a podcast. He's out. He's not here. He's out for dinner, but I think he would be more comfortable with the podcast. Anyway, having said that, he has a natural resistance to feeling comfortable with people, and most of the things he does at fairs, modeling for my toy store, is a very, it's not a comfortable experience for him. um, right now he doesn't have much of an issue with the modeling because he has no access to Instagram and social media, but I'm not sure if that's going to change once he, grows up or wants to have a social media presence. But he's not a natural. So this teaching that I do for him is not just to teach him financial literacy. This is literally a life skill. When he is playing chess and teaching other people, not only is he strengthening his own skill, similarly, like when he's researching stocks on my behalf, not only is he earning money, but he's also strengthening and polishing and literally strengthening, sorry, honing his skills. um, I'm going to pause now and ask if you guys have any questions, if you guys are following along, if you guys are inspired, um, and if you guys feel that if he can do it, you are able to do it too. Because let's not just mindlessly consume what I'm saying. Let's interact. So guys, are you guys following? Is it too fast? Does it make sense? Does the approach make sense? My son is 9, Sabah. Okay. Guys, Kulsum, Farida, Sobia, Sophie, Zara, guys, are there any questions? Do you guys understand? So that we can keep moving. I don't want us to just mindlessly listen. I honestly want, um, yeah, you guys can do it. Yes, exactly. Yeah, you guys should be proud. Guys should feel very, very hopeful, because when I look at my son, I'm like, wow, I can't believe the things you're able to do. Because even in my, in my heart as a mother looking at him, um you have your fear, right? You know that your child is uncomfortable, he's an introvert, he's also homeschooled, so he doesn't go to school. When all these factors combine, you have fear for these kids. He does not have a bank account. I'm going to show you guys what he has. So let's talk about the culture, or let's talk about creating an ecosystem of investing. My son, he's 9. I have 3 younger daughters, 7-year-old, 5-year-old, 3-year-old. He is role modeling a culture of self sufficiency, and he is the leader, because honestly, between siblings, there is so much influence that I have. They are together with each other, and they are looking up to each other more than they're looking up to me. And as they grow older, this bond is going to evolve. And one day, I'm not going to be alive, guys. I'm not going to be here. So I am hoping that by creating this culture of self sufficiency, self reliance, um, creating a culture where my kids and you guys and your kids can learn that everything is figure outable. We are capable of learning new things. We are capable of doing hard things, and it's going to suck in the beginning, but it gets better. My hope is that all of us can, literally, I wish there was a magic pill and I could make everybody believe in themselves more. But in the beginning it's hard, like anything, but remember, with friction it creates force. And if you are able to cultivate this environment by modeling, by just taking your kid along for the ride, You don't need a degree. They will follow and they will do better than you, inshallah. And my girls are going to do better. The youngest is going to be the best because she has learned from not one, not two, not three. She has learned from her mother, her brother, and two older sisters. I want you to think of the domino effect you guys are having by financial literacy, by learning all of this material. So do not discount is that as nothing. Consistency compounds, remember. Small steps. This is what I want to point about the budget. We don't give our kids pocket money. They get Eid money and birthday money. And because Saif has been earning money, he's naturally started budgeting as gift money like his regular earnings. And so Sabah, I'll answer this question. I'm going to tag these questions, guys, and I'm going to answer them as later, okay? I'm tagging your questions as questions and we will answer them on later on. So this year was the first time he budgeted for his friends and his sister's birthday. I want you to understand how big a deal it is for somebody who earns so little. The first time he bought his sister something was $1 Play-Doh. And I cannot tell you how proud he was of himself. And I was actually shocked. I was shocked the first time my son said that I can buy her $1 Play-Doh. It's not about how much he could spend. It was mind blowing to me that he had money to buy and he could think. He had this reliance on himself that he in himself could afford a birthday gift for his sister. This is the mindset we need in ourselves. It is not about how much we are making. It is about, do you have the extra little bit of cash to make that small dream come true? It makes you so proud of yourself, and that is at the end what drives all kind of self drive. That is what we want. We want to feel um, that we can do it, and these little actions that we take are the ones that are going to feed into our self drive loop. And so let's keep moving. So this is a replicable budget for all. So if you have $100, this is the four things you do, or he does. He saves some, invests some, spends on toys and candy money. Because he's a child, he saves for times when I am not going to give him money and he will not have money and he wants to buy something so bad. Uh, for adults, this is an emergency fund. So this is completely replicable and I'll show you how. So with $100, this is the system he has created. He will save $20 for emergencies, and his emergencies is he wants to buy something and I'm not going to give him anything. He invests $30. So 30% of his earning, this is what you are going to take as an adult. 30% of your earning is going into investing. $20 or 20% of his earnings is saved. 20% of your earning needs to go into an emergency fund. For people who don't know what is an emergency fund is 6 months of it's 6 months of expenses that you save. And for the record, I do not believe that you need to pay off all your debt before you can invest or save money. We can do all of this side by side, but this ratio is going to decrease if you are prioritizing making an emergency fund and paying debt. But we can always invest, guys. If you have $10, you can invest. So there is no excuse. So $20 is his candy money. You can choose to spend this $20 on whatever you want. So 20% you can, choose to spend on whatever you want. 30% is toy money. You can actually combine the 30 and 20%. For 50%, you can use it as a running expense of the house. I prefer if you guys keep the running expense of the house less than 50%. Even if it's more than 50%, we are going to try to manage our budget and make sure that 20% of our budget is being saved if you do not have an emergency fund. If you have an emergency fund, if you have 6 months of expenses, please skip the $20 part. You can invest all of that money into an investing account, or you can spend it guilt free. If you know that you are on track to invest and you're going to retire with dignity, or you're going to achieve your financial goals, please spend the money. on yourself, on people you love, you're free to do so. Do it guilt free. The $30 toy money is something that he just wants to buy stuff. Like I said, for us, candy money and toy money, we can combine them together for the running expenses of the house. We can save 20%, invest 30%, 10% spend on ourselves, and 40% goes into the regular, expenses of the house. It really depends on your situation. This is how he does it. But we can, literally take the same system and replicate it into our adult life. Again, I told you guys, we do not pay pocket money and we don't pay to do chores, because as a principle, the house is a shared space and doing chores is a life skill that nobody pays you for. Um, Also, the IRS does not count chores as legal employment. If you missed the beginning, there was an investment account I spoke about. It's called minor IRA. Minor IRAs can be only, you can only open that on behalf of a minor child if they are employed. You can employ them in your business, as we discussed, or they can be employed doing something else. The child actors, there are so many ways to employ your kids. You can, if you have a business and if you want them to package material, you can pay them, but it has to be a legal business. You cannot pay them for chores. It's illegal. And also, remember, it did not begin this way, guys. I helped my son by contributing month to month in a fund for him before he started. Remember, when he started at 7, he was just tagging along, and I opened a minor IRA for him. And let me share the account, and you guys can have a peek. Let me share the Instagram account for the toy store. This is where he models for our toys. You guys are I'm more than happy for you guys to share. You can click and see the role he plays so that you get an idea, because this is really important. A lot of people start paying their kids for chores, and I'm telling you right now, it's illegal. You cannot do it. So you can go ahead, look at this account. If you scroll down, you're going to see him modeling, my other kids modeling, for the, for the toy store. And it just gives you idea of what kids can do. Like I said, you can employ them. It's a really great tax deduction. And you can invest in their account, but this is not the place to speak about it, so I'm not going to go into the details. I just let him watch me budget, and I'm going to show you a box that I got made for him. Give me just a second. So I loved the idea of having a box for him. I don't know if you guys can see the box. This is what we got made for him when he was 7. It says his name, and then there are 3 I don't know if can you guys see this? It says zakat, sadqa, and Eid money. So we began early. This was a really nice visual way for me to show him how he can distribute his money. You can't see it? Guys, can everybody else see it? Can you see me? Okay, I don't know, Iram, because everybody else can see it. I'm sorry, I have no idea. Maybe I don't know. So basically it's a box, Iram. It's like a money box, and I had things inscribed on it so that he could have a visual representation. And he was really small to understand, but slowly I got it custom made. I can send you the link. I'm sorry, Iram, I don't know what's the issue. Yeah, it was custom made, guys. So he could have a visual representation of how do we distribute money. And so he it helps them, with small kids you need representation. And I also think it helps me. I have ADHD, and I'm a visual learner. This is why I have all these, fancy graphs and all these things. I think I think, visually it helps people understand more, especially for me. It's just easier for me to understand if something is visually represented. And so let me show you a video of how this began. And I think you guys would be able to relate. Let me share my screen. And let me open this for you guys. So this is a video. I don't know if you guys can see it or you can just see me. Where did it go? I don't know. This is a video I want to show you guys. I think Safari is closed or something. Let's see. I wanted to, it's a really nice representation. So this is what I was showing my son. Are you guys able to see the video at all? I don't know. Okay. So basically, what I wanted to tell you guys simply is that I told my son today that everybody begins from the beginning. And I showed him a picture of my 3-year-old who was trying to blow bubbles. Guys, it was such a humbling moment. It's like when a child starts walking and it takes them so many tries. It's so painful to watch them. They don't get it the first time. Investing the same was for my son. My daughter, she's 3. She just turned 3. She couldn't blow the bubbles. She couldn't understand the concept of blowing out. Something so simple, right? So when I tell you that investing is simple, I know that you don't believe me because you're in this stage where you're like trying to blow the bubble and you just don't get it, because there's so much information out. But I promise you, it gets simpler. It's easy, easy, easy. And what else? If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna answer questions now. But now I have a question for you guys again. If you guys go, there's another poll. Now I want to check if you guys got something from the class. So did you know that you can begin investing with spare change? I want everybody to go in the poll, answer correctly. I cannot see your answers. I don't know who answered what. But when you guys answer these questions, okay. So remember, I told you you can begin investing with $10. Let me share a link with you guys of a case study that I did with one of my clients, as promised. It was a study, it was a class that I did last week, and I uploaded it. How to invest with spare change. Let me get this link for you guys. Okay. So this is the link. You guys can go ahead, watch this class. You can begin investing with spare change. This is how a grandmother started investing. It's a whole visual guide. I hope you guys love it because the people who attended it last time loved it. And it's going to give you an idea.